Thank you.
Rowan Atkinson isn't just popular in one country. He's a global icon. While most comedians rely on punchlines and long stories, Rowan became famous around the world by barely saying a single word. These are Rowan Atkinson's funniest off-camera moments. Most people instantly recognize Rowan Atkinson as Mr. Bean, but one fan was convinced Rowan was nothing more than a Mr. Bean look-alike.
I was standing around with a group of guys, and I could see this guy doing that. I said, "Excuse me, has anyone ever told you that you're the absolute spitting image of that Mr. Bean?" Well, actually, I am the actor who plays Mr. Bean. And he said, "Hi." I bet you wish you were. Which the more I tried to claim that I was the person whom he thought I merely resembled, the less he believed me. He said, "The resemblance is uncanny." Have you ever thought of doing any, look-alike work? Like, stag nights and hen nights? You can go along as Mr. Bean.
Rowan Atkinson once performed a sketch about accepting an award on behalf of a winner. Then he started a speech that began politely, but it didn't stay that way for long.
What a delight it is to accept this award on behalf of my close personal acquaintance, John Daniels. John cannot unfortunately accept it himself because he is in Hollywood, starring in his first major film role with Meryl Streep. I am, however, not in Hollywood, not having been offered even a minor role in an 8mm pornographic movie.
I did a movie quite a while ago called Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Oh, yes.
In which Mr. Bean...
You're so casual about that. I did a film called Mr. Bean's
Holiday.
Well, does he look like an even bigger knob if he said, "Oh, well, of course you all know Mr. Bean's Holiday,"
Rowan Atkinson got the chance to interview Elton John, but instead of talking about his music, he couldn't stop making fun of his name.
Funny name, Elton. How did you come by it?
Well, I used to be in a band to become a singer in my own right, and I wanted to choose a name, and the saxophone player in the band was called Elton, so I chose that name.
Did you ever consider John Elton?
No.
Okay. Right, well, let's start with those early albums, then. One of which I believe was called simply Elton John.
Yes, that's correct.
And you didn't feel awkward with the name at all?
No, I thought it sounded great, and, I thought people would be more interested in the music rather than the name.
Years before Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson made Oxford students laugh for 7 straight minutes just by pulling faces.
Sort of, was doing this... And then there was this idea of having a card. It was a piece of paper where I can't remember very well now, so this won't be at all funny, but I'll do it anyway.
He decided that Bob could be a funny word.
Right.
Now, how do you do that?
Well, it just seemed, it was always at the end of the sentence. It was, so how can I help you, Bob? And it just seemed like a funny way of saying it, Bob.
I'm wondering if you could, just by saying them, make them funny. Just say the word.
Airbag. De Dion Bouton. Petrol pump.
But for now, I'm going to have to split you up into groups. Will you stop screaming? Now, murderers. Murderers, over here, please. Looters and pillagers, over here. Thieves, if you could join them. And lawyers, you're in that lot. Fornicators, if you could step forward. My God, there are a lot of you. Could I split you up into adulterers and the rest? Male adulterers, if you could just form a line in front of that small guillotine in the corner there. The French, are you here? If you'd just like to come down here with the Germans, that'd be lovely. Okay, atheists. Atheists, over here, please. You must be feeling a right bunch of nitwits. And finally, Christians. Christians, I'm afraid the Jews were right.
Rowan Atkinson explained how he started exploring visual comedy long before Mr. Bean became a global hit.
Musicians like Daniel Barenboim, and I thought, how odd that musicians generally assume they have an international audience.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do comedy, you assume you've just got your country and your kind of people who are going to enjoy what you do. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be fun, because I had already started exploring just doing purely visual comedy, whether I could, you know, do that on... I'd explored it on stage, and I was interested in trying to put visual comedy through the character of Mr. Bean on TV.
People say first impressions are important on a first date. Rowan Atkinson showed both the right way and the wrong way to do things, but honestly, you probably shouldn't copy either one.
The first crucial step is not to look like a complete idiot when she opens the door. But when your attention is there, it is vital to say how pretty she is looking straight away. But don't overdo it. You can be too casual. You can be too keen. When you've said goodbye to the parents, again, don't overdo it.
When you review a car, you usually have a lot to say. But when it comes to Rowan Atkinson, one expression says it all.
Well, if you were presented with McLaren F1, the imperiousness one gets from a Range Rover.
Okay.
Rowan Atkinson had always imagined himself as James Bond's villain. But when he finally landed a role in a Bond movie, things didn't quite go according to plan.
But I've always wanted to play a part in a James Bond film. I really always wanted to be the villain. I always wanted to be the man who said, "Not so fast, Mr. Bond." But I did one last November, I think it was, which is the new Sean Connery Bond film, Never Say Never Again, which will be out sometime towards the end of the year, I suppose. And but unfortunately, I don't play a villain. I play a goody-goody. I play the British consul in the Bahamas, who's very, very dry man. And
it's not a serious part, is it?
It's my ambition fulfilled. No, not really. No, it's got. But at least it's a nice, I think, quite a rounded.
You wouldn't have any ambitions to play the part of Bond himself? Because old Cobby is looking for another James Bond.
Everyone loves Mr. Bean. Surprisingly, Rowan Atkinson himself doesn't like Mr. Bean much.
I probably enjoyed playing Mr. Bean the most because he's a character who's furthest away from my own character. As a person, I don't like him at all. I think he's very odd and pretty weird and not very nice. What's fun about it is it's an escape. You know, when you play the character, you don't care what you do. It's a weird kind of release. First time we did the character, I'm fairly certain, was 1979 on stage. And that was when we had developed, I think, 2 sketches. One was the beach sketch, in which he's trying to change into his swimming trunks on the beach. And then there's the one in the church, in which he's sitting in the church and he misbehaves while someone's spouting a sermon.